Welcome to the San Francisco Police Department's Town Hall meeting for the officer-involved shooting that occurred on May 19th, 2022. For our ASL participants, due to the importance of showing unobstructed videos during this Town Hall meeting, we ask for our ASL viewers to use the WebEx link provided in the description located in the live streams.
Good afternoon. We're here today for a virtual town hall regarding an officer-involved shooting that occurred on Thursday, May 19th, 2022 at Mariposa and Owens Street. Before proceeding, I'd like to announce to our viewing and listening audience that this town hall is being translated into Spanish, Cantonese, and American Sign Language, ASL, for members of our community who speak those languages. Today's presentation will include details from an officer-involved shooting incident that ended tragically, claiming the lives of 57-year-old Michael McKinnon and 49-year-old Rafael Mendoza. In the San Francisco Police Department, we recognize that our sworn duty as law enforcement officers impose no more solemn obligation on us than to honor and respect the sanctity of human life. We also know that, as police officers, we are sometimes required to use force, including deadly force at times, in the performance of our duties. Without suggesting a premature judgment on the appropriateness of the force used in this particular incident, I can express on behalf of all of us in our department our condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Mr. Mendoza and Mr. McKinnon for the loss they've suffered. We recognize, too, that officer-involved shootings can have traumatic effects on members of our communities, especially for individuals and their families and loved ones who have suffered traumas of their own and encounters with the criminal justice system, whatever it may be. To any of our viewers experiencing trauma from this incident or from the information or images we will present during this town hall, please know that help is available to you. You may contact the San Francisco Department of Public Health's crisis line at 415-970-3800 for trauma services. Here's what we hope to accomplish today. First and foremost, in the San Francisco Police Department's aspiration to be a national model of 21st century policing, we work to earn the trust of those we serve by committing to transparency and to the tenets of procedural justice in this process and in our town hall presentation. Procedural justice depends on the legitimacy of police as well as the entire criminal justice system. With these town halls, we work to embody the foundational tenets of what procedural justice is all about. We will release facts known to us at this time about this incident. We will do so in a manner that is impartial and neutral. We will answer questions from members of the public as well as members of the news media, and we will listen to public feedback. Commander Paul Yep will be presenting the facts of this case in a few minutes. Before turning the floor over to him, however, I want to emphasize that this incident is subject to multiple independent and ongoing investigations. As such, there may be some information we cannot release at this time, either because the release of certain information is prohibited by law, or because the release of certain information could compromise an ongoing investigation, or because certain facts have not yet been established with certainty. In other words, we are not able to release unconfirmed information. Next, Commander Paul Yep's presentation will include a detailed verbal narrative of the facts as we know them, as well as audio and video content from the officer-involved shooting incident. SFPD officers who responded to the scene were wearing department-issued body-worn cameras, which were activated at the time of the incident. Consistent with our body-worn camera policy, Department General Order 10.11, you will see body-worn camera BWC video from those officers from multiple perspectives. Cell phone video taken by the reporting witness captured images of shadows of the assault incident will be included in Commander Yep's presentation. At the San Francisco Police Department, our commitment to full transparency has guided our officer-involved shooting investigations and town halls for several years now. Although our practice predate the enactment of many police transparency and accountability laws in California, we believe our approach has remained consistent with the letter and spirit of reforms implemented by Senate Bill 1421 for police transparency and Assembly Bill 1506 for police accountability. In fact, because of Assembly Bill 1506, the California Attorney General's Office is conducting an independent criminal investigation into this officer-involved shooting incident. SFPD's commitment to transparency in this process will also be reflected in our release of information online. Video from this town hall, including audio recordings from 911 calls and dispatchers, and the video footage I just mentioned will be posted on SFPD's website at sanfranciscopolice.org. There it will remain available in perpetuity for public viewing. San Francisco Police Department directives mandate that we release the names of officers from officer-involved shootings unless safety concerns argue against disclosure. In this matter, we identified no safety concerns, and Commander Paul Yep will release the names of the officers as part of his presentation. I would like to now explain the investigative processes for an officer-involved shooting next. San Francisco has a multi-agency response to officer-involved shootings, and each agency's investigations is independent. Whenever an officer-involved shooting occurs in San Francisco involving an on-duty San Francisco police officer, the following agencies are immediately notified. The SFPD's Investigative Services Detail is the unit responsible for investigating the events that led up to the officer-involved shooting. In this case, the activity is being investigated is a series of aggravated assaults that occurred between Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Mendoza, which occurred prior to and leading up to the officer-involved shootings. The San Francisco Police Department's Internal Affairs Division is responsible for conducting an administrative investigation to determine if the officers responsible for the OIS are in compliance with the standards and requirements of SFPD policy. Although the investigations of both SFPD units run parallel, each has a distinct investigative purview and focus. Each maintains a strict internal firewall to comply with legal standards and requirements. The San Francisco Department of Police Accountability, also known as DPA, also conducts an independent administrative investigation. San Francisco voters created DPA as a successor to the Office of Citizens Complaints with their passage of Proposition D in the June 2016 election. DPA investigates all SFPD incidents in which any of our officers discharge a weapon within the course and scope of their duties, whenever that discharge results in an individual's injury or death. The San Francisco Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, or OCME, has a responsibility for conducting an on-scene investigation, collecting evidence, and taking custody of a deceased person in any officer-involved shooting which results in a fatality. In tragic cases such as these, OCME is responsible for conducting an autopsy to determine the decedent's cause of death and to report those findings publicly. In this incident, because Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Mendoza died from their injuries, the OCME will conduct an investigation to determine their cause of death. Recent changes in state law after the passage of California State Assembly Bill 1506 mandate that the California Department of Justice, or the California DOJ, Division of Law Enforcement, California Police Shooting Team, conduct a criminal investigation on officer-involved shootings that meet the purview of Assembly Bill 1506. The California DOJ was notified and will take investigative responsibilities for the officer-involved shooting in this incident. All notified agencies dispatched investigators and appropriate personnel to begin their respective and independent investigations. Finally, I'd like to point out that we take community feedback very seriously. Based on the feedback from prior officer-involved shooting town halls, we also take questions and answers and provide answers to them to the extent we're able. Understanding that this incident remains an ongoing investigation, we will allocate 1 hour for public comment and questions and conclude this town hall at 6 p.m. Thank you very much for joining us. And now, Commander Paul Yep.
Thank you, Chief Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Commander Paul Yep of the Risk Management Office, and I will be providing a summary of an officer-involved shooting incident involving members of the San Francisco Police Department. The officer-involved shooting, or OIS, incident discussed in this presentation occurred on Thursday, May 19th, 2022. At approximately 7:48 p.m., as officers responded to an A priority call for service of an aggravated assault located on Mariposa Street and Owens Street underneath the Interstate 280 overpass. An A priority call for service is our highest priority involving crimes in progress. This incident involves uniformed patrol members of the San Francisco Police Department from the Bayview Police District and Southern Police District. 2 officers from Bayview Police District who responded are also current members of the SFPD specialist team. Of the officers on scene during the OIS incident, 16 have completed Crisis Intervention Team, or CIT, training, including the 4 officers involved in the OIS and the sergeant on scene. 8 have also completed Critical Mindset Coordinated Response, or CMCR, training, including 2 of the officers involved in the OIS and the sergeant on scene. Officers who are CIT trained have completed a 40-hour California post-certified course which prepares them to respond to persons in crisis incidents and, as a team, formulate a plan, establish rapport, and use de-escalation tactics, including tactical repositioning and creating time and distance, whenever possible to safely resolve person in crisis incidents. CMCR is a 20-hour California Post certified training course developed by the San Francisco Police Department's Field Tactics Force Options Unit. This course addresses high-risk situations encountered by officers out in the field. Training objectives include critical decision-making during high-risk incidents. Officers gain a deeper understanding of how to resolve these incidents with a coordinated and tactically sound approach, using teamwork and leadership. The precise chronology of the incident is currently under investigation. The times presented are approximately and are still under investigation at this time. The following is a summary of the events as they are understood as of today, Friday, May 27th, 2022. At approximately 7:48 p.m., the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management received a 911 call from a reporting witness who was driving eastbound on Mariposa Street underneath the freeway overpass at Owens Street. The witness stated to the 911 call taker that she saw, quote, maybe a houseless person with 2 large sticks beating the crap out of what looks like a shelter where someone else might be living, end quote. Per the witness, the suspect was, quote, violently beating it over and over and over again, end quote. The witness described the shelter as having a round tarp. The witness took cell phone video footage, which captured the movements of shadows of the incident. The witness believed there may have been a person inside the shelter being hit by the sticks because there was movement from inside the tarp. The witness described the sticks as possibly a black baton and one made out of wood. The weapons were also described as the size of baseball bats. The witness described the suspect as a dark-skinned male, 60 years old, approximately 5 feet 8 inches in height, bald, with a skinny to medium build, and wearing a yellow and blue hoodie with dark pants. At approximately 7:54 p.m., Bayview District officers were dispatched to the location as a call for service for an A priority 245, which is police code for an aggravated assault or an assault with a deadly weapon. At approximately 8:01 p.m., 2 Bayview officers arrived on scene. Officers observed 2 subjects on the ground next to a brown tarp, which was located behind a low concrete and steel wall underneath the freeway overpass. One of the individuals matched the call taker's description of a dark-skinned male in his 60s, approximately 5 feet 8 inches in height, bald, with a skinny to medium build, and wearing a yellow and blue hoodie with dark pants. This individual was later identified as Rafael Mendoza. The second individual appeared to be a white male wearing a yellow shirt. This individual was later identified as Michael McKinnon. Both subjects were lying next to each other on the ground in an active physical struggle involving a knife. Mr. McKinnon held the knife in his right hand with the blade pointed downward over Mr. Mendoza. Mr. Mendoza, who was laying on his back, used his right hand to hold on to the right wrist of Mr. McKinnon. As the officers approached the subjects, Mr. Mendoza told the officers, quote, "He got me right there, and I can't breathe," end quote, which can be heard on the officer's body-worn cameras. Mr. McKinnon told the officer, quote, "This man repeatedly attacking me," end quote, which can also be heard on the officer's body-worn cameras. The officers gave Mr. McKinnon numerous commands to drop the knife. An officer broadcasted to dispatch using their police radio, code 33, which is police code for an emergency, clear the channel. We got a subject with a 222, which is police code for a person with a knife. A Bayview district sergeant arrived on scene. During the course of the incident, the sergeant requested additional officers and to have the SFPD hostage/crisis negotiation team, or HCNT, respond to the scene. The sergeant also requested ambulances to stage nearby and for the California Highway Patrol to shut down the freeway off-ramp. An officer drew his department-issued firearm and held it in front of him while he spoke with both subjects. The officer told Mr. McKinnon that he believed Mr. Mendoza had attacked him. The officer asked Mr. McKinnon to drop the knife so that he could help him. The officer continued communicating with Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Mendoza as additional officers arrived. Arriving officers were equipped with less lethal force options, including extended-range impact weapons, or ERIWs, which are commonly referred to as a beanbag gun and a 40-millimeter foam baton projectile weapons. The officers on scene coordinated the following actions. They designated and identified arrest teams, officers deploying less lethal weapons, and lethal cover officers. They also designated officers deploying department ballistic shields, officers deploying OC spray, or commonly known as pepper spray, and positioning of the officers at the scene. One officer told the other officers on scene, quote, "Guy in the blue has a knife. Guy in the yellow has a knife," end quote, which can be heard on the officer's body-worn cameras. The officer gave both Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Mendoza commands to drop their knives as the imminent threats of harm to both continued. An officer at the scene believed he recognized Mr. Mendoza from a prior police contact and that Mr. Mendoza primarily spoke Spanish. Another officer at the scene, who is a department-qualified Spanish-speaking bilingual officer, also gave Mr. Mendoza commands in Spanish to drop the knife. Mr. Mendoza responded verbally in both English and Spanish. At approximately 8:07 p.m., an officer discharged a less lethal, a 40-millimeter foam baton projectile one time at Mr. McKinnon. Mr. McKinnon did not comply or stop and continued holding a knife with the blade pointed downward over Mr. Mendoza. An officer told the other officers, quote, "The guy in the yellow's hand is bleeding from holding the blade," end quote, which can be heard on the officer's body-worn cameras. Another officer then told officers, quote, "So he's got one. He's holding the blade, so he's got two of them. Left side has two knives," end quote, which can also be heard on the officer's body-worn cameras. Officers additionally discharged their less lethal weapons, two separate 40-millimeter foam baton projectiles, at Mr. McKinnon. Mr. McKinnon did not comply or stop and continued holding a knife with the blade pointed downward over Mr. Mendoza. Another officer then deployed OC or pepper spray at Mr. McKinnon, while officers continued to give Mr. McKinnon commands to drop the knife. Mr. McKinnon continued holding the knife with the blade pointed downward over Mr. Mendoza. At approximately 8:10 p.m., after an approximately 9-minute struggle, Mr. McKinnon suddenly climbed over the top of Mr. Mendoza and brought the knife point downward towards Mr. Mendoza's upper body. Multiple officers again yelled for Mr. McKinnon to, quote, drop it and drop the knife, end quote. Officers discharged less lethal weapons, one ERIW beanbag projectile, and one 40-millimeter foam baton projectile at Mr. McKinnon. Within seconds, Mr. McKinnon again brought the knife point up and then downward towards Mr. Mendoza in a stabbing motion at least 2 times, while officers continued to give commands to drop the knife. At this time, an officer-involved shooting occurred involving 4 officers. 3 officers discharged their department-issued handguns. 1 officer discharged a department-issued rifle. Officers broadcasted shots fired to dispatch and requested an emergency response from medical personnel. Officers immediately pulled Mr. Mendoza away from Mr. McKinnon and rendered medical aid, including CPR. Simultaneously, officers handcuffed Mr. McKinnon, pulled him away from the area, and rendered medical aid, including CPR. San Francisco Fire Department medical personnel arrived on scene and continued to render aid to Mr. McKinnon. Mr. McKinnon was later pronounced deceased at the scene. Additional San Francisco Fire Department medical personnel arrived on scene, continued to render medical aid to Mr. Mendoza, and transported Mr. Mendoza to Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased by medical personnel. On May 24th, 2022, the Office of the Medical Examiner determined that Mr. Mendoza's cause of death was a gunshot wound. On May 24th, 2022, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined that Mr. McKinnon's cause of death was multiple gunshot wounds. Additional information. Pursuant to Assembly Bill 1506, we notified the California Department of Justice, or Cal DOJ, and provided to them relevant information, including evidentiary materials in our possession regarding this incident. The DOJ has assumed investigative responsibility for the criminal investigation of this officer-involved shooting. We will continue to provide information and assistance to the DOJ as needed or requested. The subjects. The first decedent's name is Michael McKinnon. His date of birth is April 17th, 1965. The second decedent's name is Rafael Mendoza. His date of birth is July 28th, 1972. Evidence. Crime scene investigators from the San Francisco Police Department Forensic Services Division responded to the scene and processed physical evidence from the scene. 11 pistol casings, 1 rifle casing, 2 ERIW beanbag casings, and 3 40-millimeter less lethal shell casings were located at the scene, along with 4 40-millimeter less lethal foam baton projectiles. 3 fixed blade knives were recovered at the scene. Among the evidentiary items recovered at the scene were 1 hammer, a metal socket extender, and a long metal pipe. Video footage. Cell phone video footage provided by the witness captured movement and shadows of the assault incident. Officers on scene were wearing department-issued body-worn cameras, which were activated at the time of the incident. The body-worn camera video footage captured the events as they unfolded, the video footage of officers rendering aid. Any other video footage should be provided to the California Department of Justice Public Inquiry Unit. They can be contacted by telephone using the following phone numbers: 916-210-6276 or 800-952-5225. Witnesses. The witness of the assault incident was interviewed. Any other witnesses are encouraged to contact the California Department of Justice Public Inquiry Unit at telephone numbers 916-210-6276 or 800-952-5225. Involved members. The San Francisco Police Department officers involved in this officer-involved shooting are Officer Trent Collins, star number 52, assigned to Southern Station. Officer Joshua DeQuise, star number 334, assigned to Bayview Station. Officer Aiden O'Driscoll, star number 1875, assigned to Bayview Station. Officer Daniel Rosiah, star number 2376, assigned to Southern Station. Today's presentation is provided in a multimedia format. In an effort to provide a transparent and comprehensive perspective of this incident, the San Francisco Police Department will provide 911 call, police dispatch audio, a witness cell phone audio, body-worn camera videos, crime scene investigations photos, maps, and related visual aids. Our presentation today consists of relevant known video and audio at this time, but is not intended to provide all photos, videos, or testimonial information related to this investigation. I will now provide a presentation of this incident using these multimedia sources. The majority of the videos shown are in their unedited form. At select points to increase the transparency for viewers, certain videos have been enhanced to allow for a better perspective of this incident. Please note that this presentation, the enhanced videos, and the unedited videos will all be available on the SFPD website immediately following this town hall event. Prior to the beginning of each segment of audio or video, I will provide a brief description to orient the viewer to the time, place, and location of the content about to be shown. Viewer and listener discretion. You are about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence related to this case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based upon what we know right now. We are still in the very early stages of an administrative investigation that can take months to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected and reviewed. We do not draw any conclusion as to whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you are about to see and hear may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against attack, the images are graphic and may be difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those in the video. Reader discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. We encourage those in need of help to contact the San Francisco Department of Public Health crisis line 415-255-3737. At approximately 7:48 p.m., the witness called 911 reporting an aggravated assault located on Mariposa Street and Owens Street underneath the Interstate 280 overpass. We will now play the 911 call regarding the aggravated assault. This audio was provided to the San Francisco Police Department from the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management, or DEM. DEM provides dispatch services for the fire and police departments in San Francisco.
San Francisco 911 exact location of the emergency.
Mariposa and Owens.
What's going on at Mariposa and Owens?
It is under a bridge. I'm in my moving vehicle away from that location at the moment, but when I was under the bridge, I saw what appeared to be maybe a houseless person with two large sticks under, like, beating the crap out of well, it looks like a shelter where someone else might be living, like with tarps over it. Is violently beating it over and over and over again.
Could you hear any yelling from that?
I didn't hear anything. Our windows were down. Did you hear anything? Our windows were up. Sorry, could not hear anything.
Was he screaming as well?
Did not hear anything. I didn't see his mouth open, vocalize. His face was very angry as he was crossing the street with two batons. We were wondering what he was up to. Look over, started beating the crap out of that tarp thing. A brown tarp.
What race is he?
I think his very dark skin, bald head.
How
I think
old
he
do you
was
think
wearing, maybe he was like 60 years old. I think there's someone in there. Maybe he's like 60 years old, kind of like wrinkly, kind of like leathery skin. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Wearing a hoodie. He wasn't that tall, like 5'8" or something.
Is he skinny, medium, or
A tall person. Maybe kind of skinny. Skinny medium.
What color is the hoodie?
Wearing like a yellow and blue hoodie. It might be a Warriors hoodie. I'm not really sure.
What color?
Maybe like dark pants. He had two batons, like a black baton and maybe like one made out of wood or something.
How long were they approximately?
Like the size of a baseball bat each.
And is he still
And
there
then my
right
partner,
now?
We drove away.
Oh, okay,
We were at the green light. Yeah.
Okay, got
My
it.
partner took a video of it, and in the shadow, because it's like it's a shadow of it. It looked like there was a person in the shadow that was moving as a result of being beat.
We can send somebody out to check the area. We do have the street crisis team in the area as well, so we'll see if they saw anything at all. What's your name?
My name is.
All right. Thank you so much. You be safe, okay?
Yes, the video definitely shows someone
Okay.
in the video. Yeah.
But we
Okay.
couldn't see because it was very
All right.
quiet.
Thank you very much.
Wait, what did she say in the background?
Yeah, there was definitely a person that was being beaten. It was
Then
just
I heard
in the
her say
shadow.
she couldn't see. Is that what she said?
We didn't see it directly. We took a
Okay.
video of it, and it's the shadow from the sun setting.
Okay.
It was
All
like
right. We'll
we
get
can
somebody
see
out
like
there. Thank you.
behind. Thank you. Mhm.
All right. Bye-bye.
Following segment, we will show cell phone video footage provided by the witness who made the 911 call. The video is taken from inside a vehicle stopped near the scene. The video shows the movement of shadows cast by the subjects involved in the incident.
He's wearing like a Lakers sweatshirt. Oh no, I can't see. Green.
We will now provide a geographical map of Mariposa Street and Owens Street, as well as enhanced graphics to display the general area of the officer-involved shooting. The map will show a Google satellite perspective, as well as a Google Street View of the incident location underneath the 280 freeway overpass. Please note, the graphics and map are approximations and not shown to scale. We will now play the police radio transmissions from the incident. These audio recordings were also provided by the Department of Emergency Management and consists of the radio transmissions of the officers involved in this incident. The audio includes their observations, coordination of resources, and associated actions. Also included is an audio phone call between San Francisco Dispatch and California Highway Patrol Dispatch. Please note, this audio recording is not in real time and has been condensed to only include radio transmissions related to this incident.
Davy 1 car name party 245 possible Mariposa and Owens. Charlie 15 Davy for name 245 possible Mariposa and Owens.
Yes.
Copy. The RPC is a brown skin male, 60 years old, 5'8", thin build, medium build, yellow or blue hoodie, dark tan. He has 2 baseball bat size sticks he's using to tear up an encampment. The RP thinks somebody's being assaulted. He saw this as she was driving by.
Yeah, 105 all back. And ERWCIT, you guys?
05 to back copy. Seen it.
Charlie 15 over here. WNCIT.
Copy.
Charlie 11, David.
Go ahead, Charlie 11, David.
You can show us break in the back in the 15, David, on that 245.
Copy.
Charlie 11, David. Calling 97.
Copy, Charlie 11, David.
105, 97.
Copy, Charlie 105.
Code 33, we got a subject for the 222.
Right. Code 33 for Mariposa and Owens for 222 subjects.
Yeah, 105, get us a 408 on standby.
We'll get a 408 out there.
And give me a couple more units. Code 3, put it out for 7.
We need a couple.
David, code 3, LaSalle and Osceola.
Okay, which units responding? Code 3 from Osceola.
90, David.
Charlie 90, David, copy.
105, SCRU is on Pennsylvania. Can you let them know? I think they have a medic on board there to come over here.
And Southern units just be advised that we have one at gunpoint at Mariposa and Owens refusing to drop the knife. Charlie 105 has code 33. Let's keep it on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can we get a couple Southern units out there as well?
490.
490, copy.
Where's he at? Mariposa, what's the cross?
Mariposa and Owens. Mariposa and Owens.
105, David, yeah, please.
And Southern units just be advised that
Yeah, 105, we still have one at gunpoint refusing to drop a knife.
we have one at gunpoint at Mariposa and Owens refusing to drop the knife. Charlie 105 has code 33. Let's keep it on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can we get a couple Southern units out there as well? 490, copy.
Mariposa, what's the cross?
Mariposa and Owens. Mariposa and Owens.
105, David, yeah, please.
Yeah, 105, let's see if we can get coming from HNT 98 code 3 also. Take them still at gunfire, that's point also.
Copy, good. All units stand by. Charlie 105, you have your 10-9 your traffic.
HNT, if we can get HNT code 3.
HNT unit code 3.
Direction of travel?
Negative. Right at Mariposa and Owens. This is a 222 subject refusing to drop a knife, one at gunpoint.
Just say that.
Yeah, I think.
Safe Avenue, eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Edward 13, David, for the 601 for Franklin.
All units stand by for knowledge at emergency. Stand by when. On and all, any HNT officer, we need a code 3 HNT officer for the Charlie 105. This is going to be at Mariposa and Owens. HNT officer come up on 3 or 4. CAD number 2961.
HNT 29 on 4.
For the HNT 29 on 4.
Yeah, 105, if you can come code 3 to Mariposa and Owens, please.
Copy, let me grab a car. David 14, David on 3.
You raise on duty specs as well.
Some on-duty specs as well. David 14, David responding to Mariposa and Owens.
Yeah, I'll be responding to spec 58. What's the safe house there again? 90, David, we're responding at spec 75, coming 97.
Sorry, 90, David, copy, spec 75. Safe Avenue of approach is eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 105. Actually, any direction's good unless you come off the 280.
Any direction is good as long as you don't come off 280.
See if we can notify CHP and they can close off the off-ramp clear, please.
Copy.
Yeah, 3 Charlie 91, Adam.
Sorry, 91 item, you responding?
10-4, show me us, spec 5.
Copy, spec 5.
Charlie, 105 200.
Nick, I'm on my way.
10-4.
Charlie 11, David, ERW, gunpoint.
Charlie 11, David, ERW at gunpoint.
Highway Patrol.
Hi, this is San Francisco Police calling.
Okay.
Hi, we have a person with a knife at Mariposa and 29th. We want to know if you guys are able to close off that off-ramp at Mariposa.
So 280, the northbound off-ramp?
Let me double check.
Okay.
Can you check if it's northbound or southbound? I believe it's going to be southbound.
Okay, you want to close it off?
Yeah, if you're able to.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you. And do you have a log for this?
Well, hold on. Are you sure it's south? I have a southbound on-ramp and northbound off.
Damn, we're still trying to get them to let us know.
Okay. But they're on Mariposa at 29th, you said.
Okay, that's southbound, right? They're saying northbound 280.
North? Okay. All right, I'll tell them to shut it down. Let me get a log number for you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, northbound Mariposa exit. And they need a code 3 response.
Okay, so log number 2335.
Okay. And you got the code 3 response if you're able to, please?
I'll notate that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
4.203 on 97.
Copy 4.203.
That radio car that's coming, park right here. Keep on going straight ahead. We'll block off this intersection.
And Charlie 105, this is southbound, correct?
Agent G29, can I get a contact phone number, please, for Agent G?
Northbound 280, no exit off Mariposa.
Northbound 280, northbound 280.
Hey, we already got it here.
Boy, 11 Charles, can you put us 97 on the Mariposa run, please?
Copy, boy 11 Charles.
4.203, I need a CHP to block off northbound Mariposa exit. ASAP, code 3.
Copy.
There, vehicles on line of fire, so I need them to block it off, code 3 now.
Copy, the vehicle is in line of fire. CHP needs to block this off, code 3. Copy.
Charlie 11, David, I'm blocking it off right now.
Copy, Charlie 11, David Sam.
10-4, CHP gets there, then let them keep it, and then Eddie come down here. 105, get the 408 to the underneath the overpass, please.
90, we already have a
multiple times.
Okay, copy. Again, units, all units stand by. Charlie 105, you have the air. To 9 your traffic, you had other units on coming up on other channels.
4.203, no more code 3 down there. Sufficient help on scene.
Copy. No more code 3 to Mariposa and Owens. No more code 3. Sufficient help on scene.
490, shots fired, OIS.
Charlie 105.
Charlie 105, you have the air. Go ahead.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
We got one staff. What's in that 48 code 3?
Yeah, 4.203 on the operational command post is going to was started at Mariposa and the off-ramp here.
497.
I need a unit. Hey, you guys down on the corner, all these cars need you bled out. We have a crime scene here now. Get all these cars out of here.
490 going all for a PLA rip.
Okay, we have a crime scene. We have a crime scene. Again, all units stand by in A4. We'll get the 408 out there. Code 3. We have a crime scene. And then 10-9 the post.
I must establish an operational command post at off of Mariposa. Can you go to all for 4X-ray, correction 3X-ray 300?
Copy. We'll establish a command post at Mariposa.
Probably 203 to 4.203. I'm 98 out there. Where you at? Right at Mariposa and the 280 off-ramper. All right, I'll be there in a minute. Temporary, I'll make notifications to Doc and start that going.
We got one car that just made it through here. 422, show myself in the 103, 98 to this 280 line.
Copy, Charlie 202.
Boy 202.
Boy 202, copy.
Boy 11 Charles, show us blocking Mariposa, Minnesota. The boy 12 days going to block off Mariposa, Indiana.
Copy.
We got 408 coming.
We got 2 medics coming in on foot. Is it safe for them to come in?
Oh, we all safe. We got code 4.
And did you say code 4?
Yeah, 4.203 doesn't have information. No officers injured. So code 4 right now, we're just securing everything. Keep the code 33 in this channel.
Okay, I copied the code 4. Did you say an officer is injured?
Negative.
I copied code 4. No officers injured. You're attempting to secure this situation. Keep the code 33. Copy.
We're working on one subject now.
Copy, working on one subject.
We will now show body-worn camera videos related to the officer-involved shooting. I will introduce each video prior to playing it. All of these videos are from department-issued body-worn cameras. In addition, portions of some of the videos have been blurred due to the display of confidential law enforcement database images and graphic content. The first 30 seconds of body-worn camera video does not contain audio. The body-worn camera has a buffering system that captures 30 seconds of video footage prior to the officer's activation of the camera. When activated by the officer, the body-worn camera records both audio and video. Please also note that I will be designating numbers to the officers and their body-worn camera video footage. This is only done to differentiate each officer and their video from the others. We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from officer number 1. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera footage will begin with officer 1 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
8th Avenue, eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
I got your left side, okay?
And 105, give me 2 408s on standby, please.
I was holding that on somebody else.
Copy, Charlie 105.
I believe you. I trust you, okay? I trust you. But in order for us to solve this and fix this and get you the authority, what? You want him to admit it? We can sort that out. We have to drop the knife first.
Yeah, 105. If you can come code 3 to Mariposa and Owens, please.
Listen to me. We cannot solve
Copy,
this.
let's grab a car.
Get a knife right there.
Yeah, he's holding. Hey, we cannot solve this until you drop it.
Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Get back.
Watch the balloon, Rosiah. No, I got to talk to you. I can't get it. Hey, let go of the knife. Listen to me.
Hold on.
You told me that he attacked you, and I believe you.
Hey, so arrest team on one. We got too many RWs. Ditch one. Arrest team on one side. Arrest team's on the other side.
I don't want to
stay there.
Listen, stop moving. Stop moving.
Get your arrest team.
Say, hey.
Yeah.
What's
his name?
Drop the knife.
The only way we can help you is if you drop the knife.
We need you back as well. David 1 for David responding to Mariposa and Owens.
All right? We can help you. I believe that you were detective. You can see that you want our help. I can see it.
90 David responding at spec 75, 797. Sorry, 90 David, copy spec 75. 8th Avenue approach is eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 105. Actually, any direction's good unless you come off the 280.
Any direction is good as long as you don't come off 280.
You have to talk.
See if we can notify CHP and they can close off the off-ramp clear, please.
No. Yeah.
Copy.
Just don't get him, because he has the gun up there.
This can all be solved. Sir in the blue, stop moving.
Listen, if he stabs him, you need to hit him.
Yeah, 3 Charlie 91 Adam.
He doesn't speak English.
Charlie 91 Adam, you're responding.
The white dude knows.
10-4, show me spec 5.
Copy spec 5.
Hey, we got 2 knives, guys. Let's hold one right here.
So we're holding a knife right now. It looks like a yellow shirt. He has a knife in his hand.
Hey, sir. Hey, come on, man.
fatal.
Drop the knife.
You're fatal for Trent. I'm fatal for you. Fatal for you.
All right.
Hey, sir, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Charlie, 105 200.
He's gonna shoot probably first.
Sir, drop the knife.
Nick, I'm
Red
on my
light,
way.
red light. Drop the knife, I'll shoot. Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife. Hey, sir.
Charlie 11 David, you are coming from point. Charlie 11 David, you are coming from point.
Suelta el cuchillo. What's his knife? Suelta el cuchillo.
This guy's got one in his hand.
He's gonna go shoot first, okay?
Give me a shield over here. Give me a shield over here.
If you want, you can go hands on. Yeah, go hands on. Go hands on. You can take that off.
There's
yeah.
too many. There's
Yeah,
too
okay.
many.
Yeah.
You stay here.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep.
And Pie, you're on him. You're on me. We're here.
Hey, you gotta let go of your knife.
And that radio car is coming, park right here. Keep on going straight ahead. We'll walk off this intersection.
You want to go on Trent? Use the 45 angle.
Floyd, one to the up.
Try 105, this is southbound, correct? It's G29, can I get a contact phone from the police for Agent T?
Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Northbound 280, no exit off Mariposa.
Northbound 280, northbound 280.
Hey, Nick, we already got here.
Hey, somebody gloved up. Please somebody get gloved up. Hey, drop the knife. Red light, red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife.
Contact 411, Charles.
Drop the knife.
403, I need a CHP to block off northbound Mariposa exit. Days past code 3. Copy.
Drop the knife or you're going to keep getting hit.
You got more right there.
Hey, sir.
Morgan has his
Vehicle's on line of fire. I needed to block off the freedom.
Yeah. Hey, turn the radio down.
Red light, let's leave.
Let's leave.
Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife.
I'm blocking it off right now.
Yeah.
Rest team's already set up.
Tyler, you
We need to glove up. Come on.
I got gloves.
No, we need to go ahead and outside and go grab it.
Which one for? Hey, watch for blue on blue.
Drop the knife.
Go in.
Drop the knife.
You guys, back up some.
3 feet. Okay, drop the knife.
Until the knife goes down, you guys need to stay back.
All right, code 3, no more code 3 down here. Sufficient help on scene. Copy, no more code 3. Severe closing. No more code 3.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife.
Back.
Go in.
Hey, we're in the ring.
Yeah, come next.
We are now going to play the enhanced body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 1. In the replay of Officer Number 1's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the discharge of an extended-range impact weapon, oleo resin capsicum spray, and department-issued firearms. Please note that oleo resin capsicum spray is also commonly referred to as OC or pepper spray. We will display images of 2 knives that were recovered from the scene. There is an ongoing investigation to determine how each knife was used during this incident.
Down 280. Hey, Nick, we already got here.
Hey, somebody gloved up. Please somebody get gloved up. Hey, drop the knife. Red light, drop the knife.
Contact 411, Charles.
Drop the knife.
Which one for? Hey, watch for blue on blue. Go in.
You guys, back up some.
3 feet. Okay, drop the knife.
Until the knife goes
Code 3 down here. Sufficient help on scene. Copy, no more code 3. Severe closing. No more code 3.
Drop the knife.
back.
We are now going to play the body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 2. Officer Number 2 is the sergeant who arrived on the scene after the first two officers. The body-worn camera footage will begin with Officer Number 2 arriving on scene, requesting additional resources, and managing and coordinating the incident.
$105.97.
Drop the knife right now. Drop the knife right now.
Yeah, 105, get us a 408 on standby.
Sir, you gotta drop the knife. No, get it out of the trunk.
Go get the ERIW. Go get the ERIW. And give me a couple more units. Code 3, put it out for Southern.
You need to drop the knife right now, sir. Sir, I'm telling you, drop the knife. Drop the knife. You have to drop the knife.
And 105 SDRU is on Pennsylvania. Can you let them know? I think they have a medic on board there to come over here.
Then we can help you, okay? We can help you. If he's attacking you and you're the victim, I need you to drop the knife.
You guys focus on that, okay?
Drop the knife. I need you to sort this out, okay? We can sort
Yeah, 105, we still have one at gunpoint refusing to drop a knife.
Drop.
Listen, drop the knife. Drop the knife or we will shoot.
Sir, so you gotta listen to me, okay?
You have to be careful. You don't have a good view.
I know, I don't have a good shot at it.
Sir, listen to me.
I need you.
Listen to me. Let me talk. Let me talk. Sir, you told me that he was attacking you, correct? Correct.
Yeah, 105. Let's see if we can get somebody from HNT 98 code 3 also. Victim still at gun or knife point also. HNT, if we can get HNT code 3. Yeah, do it again. Red light, less lethal.
Less lethal, less lethal. Your light, less lethal, less lethal. I think I exactly.
We just don't have zone 2.
Or X. What's the knife? The guy on the left. But we don't have a shot.
Yeah, Safe Avenue is going to be eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Listen to me, I need you to drop the knife.
And 105, give me 2 408s on standby, please.
Listen, you told me, drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife, man. You gotta drop the knife. You told me you were the victim. You told me he attacked you. I believe you. I trust you, okay? I trust you. But in order for us to solve this and fix this and get this... Let him try to stand up and live. What? You want him to admit it? We can sort that out. But you have to drop the knife first.
Yeah, 105, if you can come code 3 to Mariposa and Owens, please.
Listen to me. We cannot solve this until you drop the knife. Hey, we cannot solve this until you drop the knife.
Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Get back.
What's the blow with that? I can't get it. I can't get it. Hey, let go of the knife.
One person, you guys.
That he attacked you. I believe you.
So arrest him on one section. This one, arrest him on one side, arrest him on the other side. You stay there.
Stop moving. Stop moving. Drop the knife. No, man, just put it on the table. We can help you. I
Yeah, 105. Actually, any direction's good unless you come off the 280. See if we can notify CHP and they can close off the off-ramp clear, please. Listen, if he stabs him, you guys need to hit him with the ERIW, okay?
He doesn't speak English. The white dude? No, the HM right there. We got 2 knives, guys.
If he stabs him, hit him with the RW, okay? You guys need to, back up a little bit, okay? Back up a little bit.
Hey, come on, man, drop the knife. You're fatal for Trent, fatal for you, fatal for you. Hey, sir, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Charlie, 105, 200.
Drop the knife. Good. Drop the knife. Red light, red light. Drop the knife.
10-4.
Let go of the knife. And let go of the knife. Hey, sir. Drop the knife. Suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo.
We've got a 40 here, so back up. Get a shield.
Shield right here.
And you guys, no closer until we get the knife down. You guys are the arrest team, right?
Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Northbound 280, no exit off Mariposa. No, from up there because they're coming off.
Drop the knife. Hey, give me my bandolier.
What?
You got my bandolier? Somebody grab the shield.
Go. Borgen has his too.
Give this to him. Load that. Think about it. Drop it. Hey, drop the knife! Drop the knife!
I just hit this one too. Yeah, 105. Get the 408 to the underneath the overpass, please. 2 of them. ERW's been deployed multiple times. You guys, back up some. Until the knife goes down, you guys need to stay back.
4-203, no more 203 down there. Sufficient help on scene. No more 203 to Mariposa.
Drop the knife and get a hold of that.
Drop the knife. Charlie 105. Shots fired.
We are now going to play the enhanced body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 2. In the replay of Officer Number 2's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the subject involved in the incident and a knife.
Think about it. Drop it. Hey, drop the knife!
We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 3. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin with officer number 3 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Carl, hold up.
Hey, drop what's in your hand right now.
Drop it.
Drop it.
Hey!
Drop what's in your hand.
Code 33, we got a subject with a 222.
Drop it, sir.
Drop the knife right now! Drop the knife right now!
Yeah. 105, stand by.
Sir, you gotta drop the knife. No, get it out of the trunk. Carl. You need to drop the knife right now, sir. Sir, I'm telling you, drop the knife. Drop the knife. You have to drop the knife. Okay, sir, if he was attacking you, then we can help you, okay? We can help you, but if he was attacking you and you're the victim, I need you to drop the knife so that we can sort this out, okay?
Drop the knife.
I need you to sort this out, okay? We can sort this out.
Drop.
Listen, sir, you need to drop the knife.
Drop the knife or we will shoot.
Sir, so you gotta listen to me, okay?
I don't have a good shot at it.
Sir, listen to me. Sir, listen to me. Let me talk. Let me talk. All right, let me talk. Sir, you told me that he was attacking you, correct? Correct. I need you to drop the knife so that we can sort this whole thing out. We don't want to hurt you, okay? We don't want to hurt you. All right? I really do not want to hurt you. I do not want to do this today. So I need you to drop the knife for me. We're not going to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. Huh? I need you to drop the knife. Please.
Red light, less lethal, less lethal.
Red light, less lethal, less lethal.
I think I can tap it.
I don't. Yeah, we have no zone 2. Yellow shirt.
We don't have a shot.
Sir. Sir, we need you to drop the knife. Listen to me. Listen to me, I need you to drop the knife. Can you please listen to me? Listen, you told me, drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife, man. You gotta drop the knife. You told me you were the victim. You told me he attacked you. I believe you. I trust you, okay? I trust you. But in order for us to solve this and fix this and get you the help you need. What? You want him to admit it? We can sort that out. But you have to drop the knife first. You have to drop the knife first. You have to. Listen to me. We cannot solve this until you drop the knife. We cannot solve this until you drop it. Stay back. I know. I got to talk to him. I can't get it. Listen to me, bro. You told me that he attacked you, and I believe you. Okay. I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. Listen, stop moving. You need to drop the knife. Okay? The only way we can help you is if you drop the knife. Please. Listen to me, please. All right? We can help you. I believe that you are the victim. I can see that you want our help. I can see it, but you need to help yourself. You need to help yourself. Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife, all right? The guy in the yellow shirt does. Yeah, I know. Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife. You have to drop the knife. I understand you said that you were the victim. Okay, I understand that. And I believe you, and we want to help you. This can all be solved. Sir in the blue, stop moving. Stop moving. The guy in the white dude does. Hey, we got two knives, guys. He's holding one right here as well. They're both holding knives. The guy in the blue has one too. You guys got to drop the knives. Hey, suelta el cuchillo. Hey, suelta el cuchillo. All right. Hey, come on, man, drop the knife. Fatal for Trent, fatal for you, fatal for you. Hey, sir, drop the knife. You guys, all right, so we got two knives.
Unresponsive.
Drop the knife.
Let us know when you're
Sure. Drop the knife. Red light, red light.
He's going.
Drop the knife.
Red light!
Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife.
URW deployed.
Hey, 40. Sir. Drop the knife. You guys got to drop him. He's got one too. Where's his knife? Where's his knife? They got one. This guy's got one in his hand, in his left hand. We got guy in the blue has a knife. Guy in yellow has a knife. Sir, just drop the knife. This guy, the guy in the yellow's hand is bleeding from holding the blade.
Somebody glove up.
Drop the knife. Come on.
As soon as that one drops, we can't see the other one. Where's the other one?
You guys, hey, you gotta let go of your knives. You gotta let go. You gotta let go.
See that shit?
Let go of the knife, sir. Let go of the knife. My man. Who speaks Spanish for this guy?
Mesa, keep using it.
Spanish for the guy in the blue, please. Suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Okay, so look, see that shit? See that shit? So he's got one. He's holding the blade.
Oh no,
he's got two of them.
Yeah, no, the guy in the yellow has two. The guy in the yellow has two. My man, hey, drop the knife. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife. You have to drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Mesa. Drop the knife now!
You're gonna keep getting hit.
Fred.
Huh? Drop the knife and you're gonna keep getting hit. Yeah, he's got both. Hey, sir, drop the knife. My man, it's not working, dude. Come on, think about this. Just drop it. Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife, man! Sir, drop the knife. Come on.
Hey, I'm going OC.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Out!
My man, drop the knife! The knife, man!
Yeah, I got you. Hey, it's effective.
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Sir, drop the knife! C5! Get him out! Get him out!
You're good. Closer. You're right, bro. Hey, you're right. I got you. You're with me. Hey, Buckley, he's out. You're right, bro. You're with me.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We are now going to play the enhanced body-worn camera footage from Officer Number 3. In the replay of Officer Number 3's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the subjects involved in this incident and the knife used in this incident. You told me that he was attacking you, correct? Correct. I need you to drop the knife so that we can sort this whole thing out.
We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from officer number 4. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera footage will begin with officer number 4 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Back up a little bit, boys.
Mariposa and Owens Streets.
Let's go. What the hell's going on here? They're fighting? Are they fighting? Calm down. Is that what's his name?
Stop moving! Stop moving!
Hey, it's what's his name? God damn it! We just booked him. Danny. We just booked him 2 weeks ago. The 852 guy.
Eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, 105. Actually, any direction good unless you come off the 280. 280.
Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife.
Can't. Dude, how do I not remember his name? We just talked about it.
Listen, if he stabs him, you need to hit him with the URW, okay?
He doesn't speak English.
The guy in the yellow?
Yeah. No, the HM right there, the Cuban. He's Cuban.
Hey, we got 2 knives, guys.
If he stabs him, hit him with the URW, okay?
Red light, red light. Drop the knife. Hey, sir. Hey, come on,
You're
man.
fatal.
Drop the knife.
You're fatal for Trent. I'm fatal for you. Fatal for you.
Hey, sir, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
105, 200.
Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Red light, red light. Drop the knife. Red light, red light. Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife. Hey, sir. Drop the knife. You guys got to drop. He got one knife. He's got one too. What's his knife? What's his knife? This guy's got one in his hand. His left hand.
Give me a shield over here. Give me a shield right here. Shield right here.
Drop the knife.
Hold on. There's too many guns, dude. There's too many. There's too many. You stay here. You stay here. Got it. In pie. You're on him. You're on me. We're here. Cool.
Hey, let go of the knife. Drop the knife, sir. Drop the knife.
Arnie, you want to go on Trent and use the 40 from that angle?
Hey, suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Northbound 280, no exit off Mariposa.
Hey, drop the knife. Somebody gloved up.
No, from up there because they're.
Red light, red light.
Red light, red light.
Hey, let go of the knife. You have to drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Wearing it like a champ.
Drop the knife. Hey, give me my bandolier. You're going to keep getting hit. You got my bandolier?
Can somebody grab the shield?
You're going to keep getting hit. You got board right there. Hey, sir.
Here.
Drop the knife.
Give this to him. I love that.
Just drop it.
Hey, turn the radios down. Turn your radios down.
Red light, let's lethal.
Red line, let's lethal.
Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Come on.
Tyler, you hands? You're gonna cuff?
Yeah, we're hands.
All right.
No, we need to go in that side of the ground. Hey, go OC.
You guys, back up some. Until the knife goes down, you guys need to stay back.
Code 3, no more code 3 down there. Sufficient help on scene. No more code 3. We are closing those.
Drop the knives and get it all in. Drop the knives. Drop the knives. Sir, drop the knives.
Get it!
Hey, come on. Hey, bring the race.
Holster.
Shot fire.
We are now going to play the enhanced body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 4. In the replay of Officer Number 4's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the discharge of an extended-range impact weapon and department-issued firearms. You will also see enhanced images of a knife.
Hey, turn the radios down. Turn your radios down.
Red line, let's lethal.
Red line, let's lethal.
Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Come on.
Tyler, you hands? You're gonna cuff?
Yeah, we're hands.
All right.
We are closing those.
Drop the knives and get it all in. Drop the knives.
We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from Officer Number 5. The body-worn camera video footage has been edited for presentation purposes on the front end, so there is no buffering period. Officer Number 5 responded to this incident from an unrelated call for service, and the unrelated body-worn camera footage has been removed to only show the footage from this incident. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera footage will begin with Officer Number 5 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
We got him?
4.203 on 97. Copy 4.203. We're here.
Hey, let go of the knife.
Mark right here. Keep on going. So yeah, walk off this intersection.
Want to go on Trent? Use the 40 for that angle.
You probably want to practice southbound, correct? G29, can I get a contact phone number, please, for HG?
Northbound 280, no exit.
Hey, drop the knife.
Northbound 280.
Hey, somebody gloved up. We need some people to get gloves so we can grab them. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife now.
Copy for 11, Charles.
Drop the knife.
203, I need a CHP to block off. Northbound, exit. Base path, 3. Copy.
Hey, right here. Hey, sir. Drop the knife.
Very, vehicles on my fire. I need him to walk off to 3 now.
All right. Drop the knife. Red line, let's lethal. Drop the knife now. Sir,
Charlie, eliminated the I'm blocking it up right now. Come on. Copy, Charlie, eliminated the
all right. We need to glove up. Come on. No, we need to go in that side and go grab him.
408 to the underneath the overpass, please. Two of them. URW's been deployed. Drop the knife.
Hey, maintain the 3 feet. 3 feet. Drop the knife.
You guys need to stay back.
Gloves.
45203, no more code 3 down here. Sufficient help on scene.
Gloves, who got gloves?
Copy, no more code 3 to Mariposa and Owens. No more code 3, sufficient help.
Who got gloves? That's it! That's it! That's it! Man, this is bullshit. Oh, come on! Come on, run the way, run the way! Take this guy out! Oh.
Charlie 105, yes, here, go ahead.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Now we are going to play the enhanced body-worn camera video footage from officer number 5. In the replay of officer number 5's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the subjects and of a knife used during this incident.
Gloves.
45203, no more code 3 down here. Sufficient help on
Who got
scene.
gloves? Who got gloves?
Copy, no more code 3 to Mariposa and Owens. No more code 3, sufficient help.
Who got gloves? That's it! That's it!
We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from officer number 6. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera footage will begin with officer number 6 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
We're experiencing a technical difficulty and we're working to resolve it. Thank you for your patience. We're experiencing a technical difficulty and we're working to resolve it. Thank you for your patience.
Rifle or anything like that? I don't. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, who's this? Who's this one? Don't hold a knife right now. It's like a yellow shirt. Red light. Drop the knife, full shoot. Hey, sir. Hey, come on, man. Drop the knife. Watch out. Hey, sir, drop the knife. Drop the knife. Unresponsive. Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Red light. Drop the knife, I'll shoot. Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife. Hey, sir. Drop the knife. You guys got to drop. He's got one too. Where's his knife? Where's his knife?
Suelta el cuchillo on his left hand.
This guy's got one in his hand, in his left hand. We got guy in the blue has knife, guy in the yellow has knife.
Sir, just drop the knife.
This guy, the guy in the yellow's hand is bleeding from holding the blade.
Oh, there's man.
Somebody glove up.
Drop the knife. Come on.
As soon as that one drops, we can't see the other one. Where's the other one?
So the WM is holding the blade with his left hand.
You gotta let go.
Let go of the knife, sir. My man.
Who speaks Spanish for this guy?
Mesa, keep using it.
I already deployed one to the upper body.
Suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Okay, so look, see that shit? So he's got one. He's holding the blade. So he's got two of them, dude. He's got fucking two of them. Left side has two knives. Hit him again.
My man, hey, drop the knife. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Mesa.
Drop the knife. Hey, give me my bandolier.
You're gonna keep getting hit.
You got my bandolier?
Drop the knife or you're gonna keep getting hit.
Hey, sir, drop the knife. My man, it's not worth it, dude. Come on, think about this. Just drop it.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Drop the knife.
Drop the knife, man!
Sir, drop the knife. Come on.
Yeah, we got it.
Hey, how about an OC him?
Yeah, we're
An OC him. What do you think?
Shit ain't working. Yeah, you try to OC.
Hey, I'm going OC.
Sure. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife.
Out.
My man, drop the knife.
the knife, man! Guys, don't get too close, all right?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, drop the knife. Come on, man. Hey, drop the knife.
Drop it!
Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Brand the raid. Brand the raid. Knife is right here. Brand the raid.
Make sure you don't have anything else
Brand the
on.
raid.
Just make sure you don't have any.
We are now going to play the enhanced body-worn camera video footage from officer number 6. In the replay of officer number 6's body-worn camera, you will see enhanced images of the subjects and a knife used during the incident, as well as the discharge of department-issued firearms.
The WM is holding the blade with his left hand. They go to knife, sir. My man.
This guy.
Mesa, keep using it.
I already got deployed one to the upper body. Guys, don't get too close, all right?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, drop a knife. Come on, man. Hey, drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Get him.
We are now going to play the body-worn camera video footage from officer number 7. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin with officer number 7 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Copy, unit. Charlie, unit standby. Unit standby. Charlie 105, you have your 10-9 your traffic. Unit agency, unit code 3.
Red light, last lethal.
Direction of travel? Negative. Right at Mariposa and Owens. This is a 222 subject refusing to drop a knife when at gunpoint.
Male or X? Who has the knife?
Yellow shellac.
Drop the knife, man. Drop the knife.
Avenue, eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Drop the knife.
Listen to me, I need you to drop the knife.
All right.
Calling in standby for knowledge at emergency. Standby 1.
Please drop the knife.
Drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife, man.
Copy, Charlie 105.
You gotta drop the knife. You told me you were the victim. You told me he attacked you. I believe you. I trust you, okay? I trust you. But in order for us to solve this and fix it. What? You want him to admit it? We can sort that out. But you have to drop the knife first.
Good agency 29 on 4.
Drop the knife first. You have to. Listen to me. We cannot solve this until you drop the knife.
Yeah, they're fighting.
We cannot solve this until you drop it.
Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Nobody on the other side of that pillar.
Watch the blue on blue. Let's get back.
Watch the blue, I know. I gotta talk to him. I can't get it. Hey, they call it right. Listen to me, bro. You told me that he attacked you.
If he goes down, I'm gonna try to bag his arm.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to shoot. Arrest you on one side, arrest you on the other. I don't want to shoot. Stay there. Listen, stop.
Stop moving.
Stop moving.
Say, hey.
Yeah.
You need to drop the knife.
Drop the knife. Come on, man. Just drop the knife.
Some on-duty dispatch as well. Dave 1 for David responding to Mariposa and Owens.
All right? We can help you. I believe that you are the victim. I can see that you want our help. I can see it. But you need to help yourself.
Sorry, 90 Dave copy, spec 75. Chase Avenue approach is eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Until you drop the knife. All right? Listen, we can't help you until you drop the
As long as you don't come off 280.
You have to drop the knife.
You know what? I'm gonna switch out with you if you want to take my spot. I'm gonna try to bag him in his back if he moves.
Copy.
Just don't get him. Oh yeah, no.
So if you want to scoot to your right.
The white dude does.
Expect 5.
Hey, we got 2 knives there. Fatal for Trent, I'm fatal for you, fatal for you.
Drop the knife.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Red light, red light. Drop the knife. Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife. Hey, sir. Drop the knife.
You guys got to drop.
Suelta el cuchillo.
This guy's got one in his hand, in his left hand. Guy in the blue eyes, guy in the yellow eyes. Guy in the yellow hand is bleeding.
There's too many. There's too many. If he goes, I'll bag him.
Yeah. Got it? Hi, you're on him. You're on me. You guys, hey, you gotta let go of your knife.
Let go.
Hey, let go of the knife.
Drop it. Drop it.
Who speaks? I'm gonna go on this right. Just reporting for about keep using it. Spanish.
Right here. Hey, Borg, right here. You gonna take here? Sorry, brother.
North down 280, north down 280.
From up there, because they're coming off.
Drop the knife!
Copy 411, Charles.
No, I'm good.
Drop the knife!
Copy.
You got Borg right there.
Morgan has his too.
Hey, turn the radio down.
Drop the knife! Yeah, rest team's already set up. Right there. And Boyd 90, do we already have a 408 stage?
Okay, all units stand by. Star 105, you have me here. 29, you're back up. You got other units on the other channel. Copy, no more code 3 to Mariposa.
Drop the knife, sir.
Mission don't complete.
Drop it! Boyd 90 shots fired, OIS.
Charlie 105, you have here. Go ahead. Shots fired. We got one snap. What's in that 48 code 3?
We are now going to play body-worn camera video footage from officer number 8. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin with officer number 8 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Yeah, Mason Avenue is going to be eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Mason Avenue, eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
I got your left side of Denver. Hey, 105, give me 2 408s on standby, please.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife. You gotta drop the knife, man. You gotta drop the knife. You told me you were the victim. You told me we attacked you. I believe you. I trust you, okay? I trust you. But in order for us to solve this and fix this and get you out of what? You want him to admit it? We can
Code 3 to Mariposa and Owens, please.
Listen to me. We cannot solve this until you drop the knife. We cannot solve this until you drop it.
Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Nobody on the other side of that pillar.
Watch the blue hole, blue.
Watch the blue, Rosiah.
I know, I gotta talk to you. I can't get it. Hey, listen to me, bro. You told me that he attacked you. I believe you. Okay. I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. Listen, stop moving. Stop moving.
Hey, it's, what's his name?
Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
You're right,
The only way we can help you is if you drop the knife.
Responding to Mariposa and Owens.
Alright? We can help you. I believe that you were the victim. I can see that you want our help. I can see it.
90 David, we're responding at 75. Chase Avenue over the Pearl is eastbound Mariposa from Pennsylvania.
Alright?
Yeah, 105. Actually, any direction good will let you come off the 280.
Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife. You have to drop the knife.
We can notify DHC if they can close off the off-ramp there, please.
I understand that.
Just don't get
I believe you. And we want to help you. This can all be solved. Sir in the blue, stop moving. Stop moving.
He
doesn't speak English. All right, the white dude does.
We'll show me up. Big fly.
Hey, we got two knives, guys. Just hold one right here. You're fatal for Trent, I'm fatal for you, fatal for you. All right. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. You guys, drop the knife.
Charlie,
drop the knife.
Shoot probably first.
Sir, drop the knife. Red light, red light. Drop the knife. Red light. Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife. Hey, sir. Drop the knife. You guys got it, John? Suelta el cuchillo. What's his knife? Suelta el cuchillo. This guy's got one in his hand, his left hand. Guy that you guys shot down here. Drop the knife. The guy in the yellow stand. There's too many. There's too many. He goes, I'm back.
Yeah.
Stay here. Got it? Yep. Hi, you're on him, you're on me.
Gotcha.
You guys, hey, you gotta let go of your knife. Let go. Hey, let go of the knife. Drop the knife, sir. Drop it. You want to go on this thing? Suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Good. Northbound 280, go like that.
Hey, drop the knife.
Northbound 280, northbound 280.
Hey, somebody gloved up. We need some people to get gloves so we can grab.
Drop the knife. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, now. Drop the knife.
CHP to block.
Drop the knife now!
Hey, right here. Drop the knife. You're gonna keep getting hit. You got board right there. Hey, sir. Board getting hit. Drop the knife.
We're not shooting the line of fire because I need to be
We need to blow up. Come on. No, we need to go in that side and go grab him.
Wait to the underneath the overpass, please. Some of us, URW's been deployed.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Hey, man, take the knife.
Drop the knife. The knife, man.
403, no more code 3 down here. Sufficient help on 2. Copy, no more code 3. Drop the knife. No more code 3.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. That's it. Hey, get in.
This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin with Officer Number 9 arriving at the scene and his actions leading up to and during the OIS incident.
Anybody got a shield? You guys got a shield? Hey, Tuna,
Nobody
come
on the
back.
other side of that pillar. Nobody on the other side of that pillar. Get back.
Tuna, fall back, get yourself some cover.
I know, I got to talk to him. I can't get it. Hey, let go of the knife. Listen to me, bro.
One person.
You told me that he attacked you, and I believe you.
Hey, so arrest team on one, we got too many ERWs. Ditch one, arrest team on one side, and arrest team's on the other side. TC, you stay there, I trust your shot.
Stop moving! Stop moving!
Say, hey.
You need to drop the knife. Drop the knife. Okay? The only way we can help you is if you drop the knife. Please. Listen to me, please. All right? We can help you. I believe that you are the victim. I can see that you want our help. I can see it, but you need to help yourself. You need to help yourself. Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife.
He doesn't have the knife. Other guy.
The guy in the yellow shirt.
Yeah, he's got the knife.
Listen, we can't help you until you drop the knife. You have to drop the knife. I understand you said that you were the victim. Okay, I understand that. And I believe you, and we want to help you. This can all be solved. Sir in the blue, stop moving. Stop moving.
He's... Habla inglés?
The white dude.
Inglés.
Hey, we got two knives, guys.
Okay.
He's holding one right here. He's Spanish speaking?
Just try it.
Hey, suelta el cuchillo. Hey, suelta el cuchillo. Drop the knife, folks.
Hey.
We're going, sir. Hey, come on, man. Drop the knife. Fatal for you. Hey, sir, drop the knife. You guys are
unresponsive. Unresponsive.
Drop the knife.
Let us know when you're going.
Drop the knife. Red light.
He's going.
Drop the knife.
Red light!
Let go of the knife. Hey, let go of the knife.
ERW deployed.
Hey,
40.
Sir. Drop the knife. You guys got to drop him.
He got the knife.
He's got one, too. Where's his knife? Cuchillo. Where's his knife? They got one. This guy's got one in his hand, in his left hand. We got guy in the blue has a knife. Guy in yellow has a knife. Sir, just drop the knife. The guy in the yellow's hand is bleeding from holding the blade.
Somebody glove up for red. Oh, you guys are ready.
Come on.
As soon as that one drops, we can't see the other one. Where's the other one?
You guys, hey, you gotta let go of your knives. You gotta let go. You gotta let go.
See that shit?
Let go of the knife, sir. Let go of the knife. My man. Who speaks Spanish for this guy?
Mesa, keep using it.
Spanish for the guy in the blue, please. Hey, suelta el cuchillo. Suelta el cuchillo. Te vamos a ayudar, pero suelta el cuchillo.
Okay, so look, you see that shit? So he's got one. He's holding the blade. So he's got two of them,
Yeah,
dude.
no, the
He's
guy
got
in yellow
fucking
has
two of them.
two. The guy in
Left
yellow
side
has
has two knives. Hit him again.
My man, hey, drop the knife. Red light, drop the knife. Hey, drop the knife. You have to drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Mesa. Drop the knives now!
You're gonna keep getting hit.
Try it.
Drop the knife or you're
So
gonna
you see
keep
it? He's
getting
got
hit.
two of them.
Yeah, he's got both.
So he's the clear victim.
Drop the knife. My man, it's not worth it, dude. Come on, think about this. Just drop it. Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Red light!
Red light! Drop the knife, man! Sir, drop the knife. Come on.
Hey, I'm gonna OC him. I'm gonna fucking OC him. What do you think? That shit ain't working. Try to OC. Hey, I'm going OC. Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
My man, drop the knife. The knife, man. Guys, don't get too close, all right?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, it's effective. It's effective.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Sir, drop it. Get it. Get him out.
You're good. Closer. You're right, bro. Hey, you're right. I got you. You're with me. Hey, Buckley, he's out.
We are now going to play enhanced body-worn camera video footage from officer number 10. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin shortly before the officer-involved shooting and is edited and blurred for presentation purposes to show officers rendering aid to Mr. Mendoza.
Drop the knives and hit all that, dude. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Sir, drop the knife. Get him. Hey, get him out. Hey, get out. Hey, come on. Hey, take this guy out. All right. Hey, just stay with me, man. Stay with me, man. I got a chest seal. We got one stab, what's in that 4A code 3?
Yeah. Open it up. Hand it to me.
Hey, stay with me, man. Stay with me. Okay?
Where else is he?
Just that one, man. I got in his hands. His hands are bleeding, but that's the main wound. Stay with me, man.
Check the back for edge wound. Or is the door in front?
I think it's just the one stab wound, man. Nothing on the back.
Nothing on the back?
He's good on the back.
All right. Does anybody have a scissors? I got it right
He's got it right here. He's cut him off. Just his hands.
Check the legs.
Just his hands.
Establish a command post at Mariposa.
Any other ones? Good? Here, hold on.
It looks like that's. He's going out, man.
Yeah.
You feel anything?
I got it.
Start pumping. Good, nice. Dude, we don't have gloves.
All right.
You got extra gloves? Anyone extra gloves? Yeah. I need some. I need some.
Notification on. Start that on.
Thank you.
We got one car that just made it through here.
Stay with me, man. Come on.
You got these gloves?
You got him. Yeah.
We are now going to play enhanced body-worn camera video footage from officer number 11. This video will be played in real time. The body-worn camera video footage will begin shortly before the officer-involved shooting and is edited and blurred for presentation purposes to show officers rendering aid to Mr. McKinnon.
Where's the knife? Where's the knife?
Knife is right here.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure you don't have anything else on it. Let's make sure you don't have any. Okay. Handcuff. I got the cuffs. Yep. Get me his other hand. Okay. All right. He's got multiple knives here. Yep. Pull him up, Gills. Pull him over here. Yep. Okay. Pull more.
Hold on.
Okay. All right, let's get scissors. Anybody got scissors? Got scissors? Take off all this. I need scissors. Here.
You got one in your car?
Unzip me right here. Unzip me on top. I got scissors on the top. Okay. Scissors right there. Pull out my scissors. Okay. Perfect. Cut everything off. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. Keep cutting. All right. Nothing? All right, no pulse? Start CPR, start CPR, start CPR. Okay. Let's see what's... Anything? Any other? See if we can go get some yeah.
We will now display 9 photographs taken by the Crime Scene Investigations Unit during and after scene processing. Photograph number 1 shows one of the knives photographed at the scene. Photograph number 2 shows the same knife with a measuring device for reference. Photo number 3 shows another knife photographed at the scene. Photograph number 4 shows the second knife with a measuring device for reference. Photo number 5 shows an unexpended 40 millimeter foam baton cartridge and a 40 millimeter Penn Arms extended range impact weapon, or ERIW, from the scene. Photo number 6 shows oleoresin capsicum, or OC, spray canister from the scene. Photo number 7 shows a less lethal extended range impact weapon from the scene, commonly referred to as a beanbag weapon or a super sock. Photo number 8 shows department-issued handgun and 2 ammunition magazines from the scene. Photo number 9 shows a patrol rifle from the scene. Thank you. This concludes my presentation. I will now introduce Captain David Marin from Bayview Police Station.
Thank you, Commander. Good afternoon. My name is Captain David Marin, Commanding Officer of Bayview Police Station. I'd like to start by saying that since the beginning of this year, we have received a total of 6 calls for service specifically pertaining to the area of this incident. It should be known that none of the calls were reported for violence or for someone carrying or brandishing a weapon. We currently have an assigned car sector for that area that works throughout the day and night. We also have a bike and foot beat assigned to the area as well, which also helps to supplement the car sector. However, in response to this latest incident, we have increased our patrols and passing calls in and around the area. Community response has been persistent since that night. I have informed members from my Community Police Advisory Board and continue to have open conversations with members of the community regarding this incident. Lastly, I will be mentioning this incident at my upcoming community meeting, which will be held on Tuesday, June 7th via Zoom. I encourage those interested to please sign up and register at SF Safe. Thank you. I now welcome back Chief Scott.
The public comment portion of this town hall will now begin. The length of time for public comment will be 1 hour. To call into the meeting, please call 1-415-655-0001. Again, the number to call into the meeting is 1-415-655-0001. Please enter meeting code 249-939-355-39. Again, that's meeting code 249-939-355-39. Enter passcode 8378. Again, that's passcode 8378. Each public comment caller will have up to 2 minutes to speak. If you wish to join the queue for public comment, please listen carefully to the following instructions. Interpretation is available in both Spanish and Cantonese. If you are watching on YouTube, please use the WebEx link in the description. You may click the globe icon on the bottom left and select your preferred language. If you are calling into the meeting, again, please call 1-415-655-0001. Enter meeting code 249-939-35539. Enter passcode 8378. You may press *3 to raise your hand to get in the queue to speak for public comment. You will be prompted when you have been unmuted and it is your turn to speak. Once again, each caller will have up to 2 minutes to provide public comment for this town hall meeting. Your 2 minutes will begin once you have been prompted that you have been unmuted and you begin speaking. Please be reminded, you must mute the broadcast you are watching in order for your public comment to be heard clearly. Again, if you are watching the broadcast online, please mute the broadcast or turn down the volume to prevent audio feedback so that your comment can be heard clearly. Moderators, at this time I ask that you invite the first caller in to speak.
Hello, I've been watching the videos or many videos of the officer-involved shooting and several things that are going on. I guess I did have a concern with Mr. Mendoza. It seems like he was the person in blues, reported to be Cuban and needing some interpretation. But how many times did he say, "I can't breathe"? He kept saying, "I can't breathe." And I thought I heard him say also, I don't know if I'm imagining it, well, that he felt that he needed more aid from the officers. This is something I'm trying to interpret from watching the video. And I had one other question, which I'm trying to understand, is that after non-lethal force was exercised, it seems like the supervisor of the scene assigned who would become lethal should that be necessary. So I guess I'm asking Chief Scott, in situations like that, when non-lethal force doesn't work, does a supervisor assign which officers may use lethal force? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. As far as the "I can't breathe" comment, as Commander Yep read in his comments, that comment was made by Mr. Mendoza, and it can be seen and heard on the body-worn video, rather. To your question about the supervisor designating lethal force, if you want to refer, or you can refer, rather, to our General Order 5.01, our Use of Force General Order, and it gives the guidelines for the ERIW, or Extended Range Impact Weapon. Anytime that's deployed by an officer, by policy, the officer is required to have a designated lethal force officer along with the ERIW deployment. So that can be found in our policy, and I would ask you to refer to that, and you can read through it, and if you have any other questions, definitely we'd be happy to answer those.
Y'all can play the same video over and over all you want, but y'all had over 15 cars. Everyone saw the live. You thought that wasn't going to escalate the situation? The two men, even with knives, were more in danger than the police. They never had a chance. All the back and forth is just show to justify that you all are fucking murderers. We saw it all. Y'all are incoherent. You killed two old unhoused men. You say you had less lethal weapons, and why the fuck didn't you keep using them? Because y'all love to murder. Y'all literally shot the guy you claim you were trying to not let get assaulted before you shot the guy with the knife. Come on now. One of you even said, "I don't got a good shot at him." Disgusting. I've seen how SFPD operates because I'm a native of here. Y'all hate unhoused people, and you hate dealing with them. You literally treat them like they're not human, and it's because your fucking leader, London Breed, literally breeding that hate against unhoused people across Frisco. You know who you protect and serve? Yourselves. As long as y'all make it out alive, it's okay that y'all aren't God. Y'all don't get to decide who lives or dies. You can literally hear in the pig command's voice and all of them that there is no emotion or care, that they just shot down 2 humans. They literally sound bored. Quit your fucking job. We're tired of this shit. The only question with an ounce of care in their voice is, did you say an officer was shot? That's the only question that had 1 ounce of care the whole time. So you're the only ones that can assault someone? You're the only solution is to harm and kill? That is your only solution. Then y'all don't know what the fuck to do. I heard one of the pigs talking to the man, and you're saying how everything could be solved, and you trust him. But then y'all shoot him. Even if it took all night, if you really cared, you would stand by till they dropped the knife. You would have stood by. Again, your only solution is to harm and kill. How many more people got to die? How many poor people, unhoused people at that, living in poverty before you implement CART? C-A-R-T. There's already a program that literally can prevent this from happening. And shame on you, London Breed, too, because the blood is on your hands. You're a fucking murderer. I don't care if you're a black woman. You're a fucking murderer when all your decisions put black people in danger every day in Frisco. Unhoused people have...
Thank you, caller.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So my name is Susan Buckman, and I'm with Wealth and Disparities in the Black Community. And I have been watching these officer-involved shooting town halls for a couple years now. And I have to say that this is the worst one I've seen. I mean, in previous ones, you might say that things moved so quickly that an officer really had no time to try to de-escalate, which I don't believe is true. But in this one, you had time. You had time, you had distance, and you threw it away. You had an officer that was attempting to make rapport with at least one of the gentlemen on the ground, and he was hit. He was shouted over, he was pushed aside, and he gave up. He literally gave up. And then the supervising officer, he kept telling people to stand back, and he was completely ignored. It was just insane how many police officers were there. And any chance of de-escalation was completely thrown away. And I just feel that this is a failure of leadership, a failure of training, a failure on so many layers. And I hope something comes of this one. I really hope. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Hi, my name's Ben. I'm a resident of SF, and echoing a lot of what the other callers have spoken on. A lot of times we have OIS incidents with SFPD and other police departments. There's usually some defense given that the officers have to make split-second decisions or, evaluate if there's a danger to them or to others. There was a danger to someone else. Turned out it was the officers in the end, but either way, as the last caller said, there was ample time to establish who should be involved in lethal force. Chief Scott mentioned there was supposed to be some lethal force officer. I didn't see anyone acknowledging those 5 different shooters who took 15 shots or something. I lost track if anyone counted them. What was really, I think, jarring for me, particularly having seen and been a part of these meetings for a while now, was that there was actually a start of de-escalation with the first officer. And then I'm trying to understand what happened to bring in 5 other officers crowding together, screaming at these men, escalating the situation, which goes against every standard operating procedure, we can talk about SOPs, we can talk about general orders, all went out the window here, and 2 men are dead, who really didn't need to be in a completely flowed situation that we basically have 20 officers with sticks in their hands, not really saying anything about what we're going to do if the situation changes. And so I just don't get it. I'm kind of wondering, what the f is going on? Is it a recruiting issue? Is it training? Why do we have these people wearing blue and getting in a point where they're serving in the field when this is not a split-second decision. This was clearly a lapse in judgment of the highest order, and it led to a loss of life of 2 people who'd be around if basic SOPs had been followed. So I'm just trying to understand less. It's in the book, and this is what we have said. Why wasn't it followed here when there was so much time to do so, and there was plenty of officers involved to make sure that it was happening correctly?
Thank you, caller.
Yes, this is community member David Elliott Lewis. I want to recognize that the difficulty officers face in this situation. They are pointing their guns down at a victim and a perpetrator who are below them, line of sight. And so aiming down at them with guns puts both in danger. And I don't know if there's tactical ways to address that, maybe shooting from a lower angle, maybe not shooting at all. But it's clear in attempting to save the life of one, both lives were lost. It's not clear, though, from your report, if the person lying on the ground facing up, whose knife was descending toward him, was that person, did he die by gunshot or by knife? Was it an officer-involved shooting for both or for just one? That's not clear from your report. Maybe you can release that later. Also, I did not see any medical personnel on site, any medical first responders. And I'd like to know what the procedure is for calling them and how long it took before medical was able to render first aid. Also, I noticed that when first aid was rendered, CPR was administered, but it appeared with multiple gunshot wounds, wouldn't stopping bleeding be the first priority? People could bleed out in seconds. Then, of course, the heart would stop. But why would wound care not be top priority? I don't know your procedures, and maybe it was, but you didn't seem to call that out. Finally, one officer yelled out, there were too many officers with guns. He actually said there are too many guns. And I wonder what the procedure is or the policy on how many guns to be drawn on situations. I know these are challenging incidents, but the community has concerns about how this was handled with two fatalities and what caused the 2 fatalities. Any information you can provide on these questions would be appreciated.
Thank you, caller. I can provide some information. As was said earlier by Commander Yep, the medical examiner has released a preliminary finding that both of the men died from gunshot wounds, but that investigation has not been finalized yet. There's still more for the medical examiner to do before they publish their final autopsy reports for each of the men. As far as the number of officers with guns, I would invite the caller and other callers who have that question to go back and review the videos. There is, you can hear on the body-worn camera video that the officer does say there's too many guns, and adjustments are made at that point. So I would invite you to go back and look at the video and see. You can also hear the adjustments that were made because they verbalized that in the video. In terms of the wound care, officers are trained for basic life-saving measures or CPR, and wound care is a part of that. So that is a part of the officer's training. If you go back and watch the video, it's digitized, so you can't see it. We digitize it because showing those injuries are very traumatic. But there is training for basic wound care in our medical training that we get for first responders in this department. And I believe that was all your questions. I hope I didn't miss any, but thank you for the call.
Hello, my name is Michael Petrellis. I am a longtime gay activist. I wish there was no echo. The tech problems you are experiencing are a shame, another shame on the police department. Why is there this echo? You need to address your terrible tech issues on this call. That aside, I want to point out SFPD has lied before, and I have no reason to trust anything that SFPD has to say in general, and no reason to trust SFPD after they have killed 2 more people. This meeting that is taking place virtually should have been held in person. The Board of Supervisors are meeting in person at City Hall. There is no more ban on indoor meetings. There's no mandate for masks to be worn indoors. The only reason you are having this virtual meeting is because it gives you, the cops, more control over what's supposed to be a community meeting. Finally, I want to say Texas reminds us this week, never trust anything a cop says, especially when the cop is talking about police shooting civilians and when police are standing by as a shooter is killing dozens of children and their teacher. You need to hold another town hall about these killings in person.
A reminder to all callers, you must mute the broadcast you are watching in order for your public comment to be heard clearly. Again, if you are watching the broadcast online, please mute the broadcast or turn down the volume to prevent audio feedback so that your comment can be heard clearly. Thank you.
You said in your opening remarks that procedural justice depends on the legitimacy of the police, but there is no legitimacy to be had for a system that enables and then protects self-appointed executioners. The very idea is insulting. It's an insult to Michael McKinnon and Rafael Mendoza. It's an insult to the memories and the loved ones of Kieta O'Neill, Sean Moore, Mario Woods, Amilcar Perez Lopez, Alex Nieto, Michael Mull, Idris Stelly, Richard Timms, Gregory Hooper, murdered by SFPD. And it's an insult to everyone else who's been harassed, beaten, terrorized by this militarized police force that siphons off $660 million of public resources every year with zero accountability to their victims, to the community. So for anyone who wants to hold on to this false idea, this notion of police legitimacy, I want to make sure that you're all out voting no on Prop H. It's the best chance that this police department has to be able to stand up to the scrutiny of justice. And if you mean what you say, that's something any legitimate system should be more than happy to do.
Thank you, caller.
Hello, I'm Dylan. I live and work in San Francisco. I think that this video was disgusting to watch. What is it? Well, okay. My first question for you, Mr. Scott, is how many officers were there at the scene? And yeah, that goes into my first point. That these were 2 people, one of whom had a couple of knives. Why did so many officers need to show up for that? Why did it seem so premeditated to use fatal force on this person? And is there not a better way than just aiming guns at somebody to disarm somebody with a knife? Why do you need 16 plus officers there? So my first question to you, how many officers were there? Another question, how many shots were fired? And another question, what type of bullet was Mr. Mendoza shot with? I'm wondering if it was a shot from the rifle or from the handgun. I think this is disgusting. I hope you can answer all three of those questions for me, Chief Scott. And I also want to echo the previous caller in saying anybody who's alarmed by this and the behavior of the San Francisco police should vote no on H in this upcoming election. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, caller. As far as the handguns that were used, that was a part of the presentation, 40 millimeter handguns. There was also a police rifle that was used, and the ERIW, both the 40 millimeter foam baton round and the ERIW super sock, also known as the beanbag. In terms of the total officers, there were 4 officers who fired lethal weapons, and there were a number of officers that were at the scene. I don't have the number for you, caller, but there were officers on the perimeter. There were 2 arrest teams. There was supervision there. There were officers that were there to assist with the scene after the officer-involved shooting. So there were a number of officers at the scene, but I don't have the number for you. Thank you, caller.
At this time, we have no callers in the queue, and I will reread the instructions. To call into this meeting, please call 1-415-655-0001. Again, the number to call into the meeting is 1-415-655-0001. Please enter meeting code 249-939-35539. Enter passcode 8378. Each public comment caller will have up to 2 minutes to speak. If you wish to join the queue for public comment, please listen to the following instructions. Interpretation is available in both Spanish and Cantonese. If you are watching on YouTube, please use the WebEx link in the description. You may click the globe icon on the bottom left and select your preferred language. If you are calling into the meeting, again, please call 1-415-655-0001. Enter meeting code 249-939-35539. Next, enter passcode 8378. You may press star 3 to raise your hand to get in the queue to speak for public comment. You will be prompted when you have been unmuted and it is your turn to speak. Please be reminded you must mute the broadcast you are watching in order for your public comment to be heard clearly. Again, if you are watching the broadcast online, please mute your broadcast or turn down the volume to prevent audio feedback so your comment can be heard clearly. Moderators, at this time I ask you invite any callers, the next caller into the meeting to speak.
I think I'm next.
Caller, we can hear you. You can begin.
Okay. I'm old. I'm 76. I'm a nurse who learned how to de-escalate situations, and once again, I'm horrified by the behavior and the violence of SFPD. By my counts, 4 people have been killed by SFPD in the last 7 months. Ajmal Amani, Nelson Zato, and now Mr. Mendoza and Mr. McKinnon. If Captain Scott hopes that SFPD can be a national model, there's a long, long way to go. Yelling with guns pointing is not a way to de-escalate and establish rapport. These are ways to increase and escalate violence. And with knives, certainly other ways could have been tried. At least 15 shots were fired by SFPD, thereby assuring that both people would be killed. It was an act completely out of control. There was a lot more that the officers could have done. And there were no mental health people available. The person who was, I guess, trying to establish some sort of poor rapport amidst all the yelling and the guns was not effective. And if the people, if Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Mendoza had been homeless, there is a good chance that there were mental health issues that needed somebody who understood and could respond to the situation in a non-violent way. Over 30%, I think, of people who are living on the streets have mental health problems. I am wondering how the families are of Mr. Mendoza and Mr. McKinnon. And I just want to say that as a nurse and as someone who is 76 years old.
Thank you, caller, for your comments.
Once you receive an unmuted prompt, feel free to begin speaking and your 2 minutes will begin.
Good evening, Chief Scott. Just a quick follow-up question. Exactly how many shots were fired? And my second question was the victim of the assault, was he actually holding any type of weapon during this encounter when the police were there? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I will just ask you to refer back to the body-worn camera video in terms of holding the weapons. There's several videos that were shown this evening that point out the knives that were a part of this incident. There were, in total, 3 knives recovered, and those were on the enhanced videos. You can see where it was circled. In terms of the number of shots that were fired, we do know what we have recovered in terms of casings, that those are the expended casings. The investigation, as was said earlier, is in the hands of the California Department of Justice, and we will have to wait until their conclusions in terms of the shots that were fired. The medical examiner report is not finalized yet, but the casings may not be the total answer to the number of shots that are fired. So I can't answer that question right now until that investigation, that part of the investigation has been totally confirmed. But we did put out how many expended casings that were recovered from the scene. That was a part of this presentation. Thank you, caller.
As a reminder, each member of the public is allowed to make 1 public comment. If you have follow-up questions, please email us at sfpdchief@sfgov.org, and we will do our best to answer the question that you have. At this time, we invite the next caller into the meeting.
Hello. My comment that I wanted to make is that at the top of this presentation, you said in detail all of the training, including de-escalation training and crisis management training that officers who responded to this call had received. And that is really terrifying because the only plan that I saw was yell, aggress, kill. I also work in a setting that I have been trained in de-escalation, and although I heard some people, some commenters, public commenters saying that there was an officer that attempted to establish rapport at the beginning, what I wrote down was hearing that officer saying repeatedly, shoot you, hurt you, shoot you, as in, I don't want to hurt you, I don't want to shoot you. I'm sorry, there's no rapport possible with somebody repeatedly saying to you, shoot you, hurt you, shoot you. This
this is completely horrifying. Also, are your officers trained in situational awareness? Because I guess they were executing scripts and saying things according to the plan that they had in a very loud, echoey place. If you were one of the victims in this situation, not only were you hearing somebody yell at you over and over again, the same thing, peppered with threats of violence, but also you're hearing loud, echoey voices of people yelling at each other and discharging their weapons. I just like, do people, are they trained to think about where they are and what this sounds like from anybody else's perspective? This is just shocking. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I would invite the caller and any other callers with questions about some of the commands that were given to refer to the SFPD's General Order 5.01, use of force, specifically on page 12 of the General Order. It describes what officers are required to do before using the extended range impact weapon. They are required to give commands. You heard the red light commands on the video. They are also required to give warnings before using certain weapons, including the ERIW. So I would invite you to look at the policy, and that might provide some clearer clarification on what officers are required to do in terms of the commands in those situations. Thank you, caller.
Hi, this is Melissa Hernandez. I'm just calling in to express my sincere disappointment and horror at this incident. 2 people are dead, and if that isn't bad enough, the contempt against public participation and transparency throughout this process just adds insult to injury. This was a moment for you to own up to your mistakes, not one to show contempt for the public's ability to figure out what's going on. It's just extremely disappointing. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, caller.
Hi, my name is Mimi Klausner. I've lived in San Francisco for 37 years. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see your presentation, although I'm hoping it will be archived somewhere and I can watch it. But I do want to amplify some of the things that have already been said, which is that this meeting should have been held in public, in person at City Hall. It is pretty outrageous that it is being held online, and I agree that it's a way for you to maintain control of the situation. The other thing I want to say is that I too hold Mayor Breed partially responsible for this because she has not implemented the CART program. This was a program that was well researched and supported by the Board of Supervisors and should be operating today, and it is not. This, takes some of the responsibility for dealing with homeless people into the social services sector rather than, the cops who are just, very, very prejudiced, I think, against homeless people. I also want to say that right-wing billionaires are funding a recall of our DA, Chesa Boudin, and it's because he is trying to hold the police accountable, and he's going after white-collar crime, and he's, supporting victims' rights. And so I really urge everyone listening to this presentation to go fill out your ballot tonight and no on H. This is super important to do because the police commission is not holding the police accountable, and right now the DA is. To me, it's, I guess you could call this premeditated murder.
Thank you, caller.
Hi, my name is Holly, and I am calling from San Francisco, and I want to say I am disgusted by this here. 2 people are dead, and you are holding a conference over Zoom when we could be here in person. You are hiding, and it is absolutely disgusting. The situation could have been de-escalated. 2 people could still be alive. I don't care if there was a knife. You all hold out your gun and behave like an organized crime game that you say you stand up against. Your behavior is despicable. I can't believe that this is where my tax dollars are going, hundreds of millions of dollars every year, and this is the best you can do. There's 20 officers standing there, dogpile. You all could have just stood there and let them tire themselves out, but instead you shot them and they're dead. And you think because they're unhoused that people aren't going to show up for them? And I just want to say I am so proud of this community and everybody who has called in and called you all out on your BS behavior. It is unacceptable. Sick of it. Not one more. What are you going to do to respond to all these comments? How are you going to implement these programs? Be ashamed of yourself. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Hi, I just wanted to call in to echo a lot of the other comments today saying that these officers obviously showed no ounce of de-escalation, and the fact that many of them have had CIT training just goes to show that the police cannot be reformed. They must be abolished. This was a tremendous act of injustice for 2 of our unhoused neighbors in San Francisco, and I want to uplift them and their lives and their names. I also want to say that it's wildly ridiculous that this meeting is being held on a Friday afternoon before a long weekend. I think this is SFPD's way of just burying this murder, and I want to say that it will not be buried. We will keep mentioning this in the news and in the media as much as we can. I would also like to ask Chief Scott to confirm whether or not Mr. Mendoza was armed when he was shot. We know the DOJ is investigating this incident, and we know that the DOJ would only open a case for police murder if there was an unarmed victim. And so I'd like for Chief Scott to confirm whether that was the case for Mr. Mendoza, so we can have clarity on that piece as well. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. As far as your question, all we know at this time is what we see and hear on the video. We hear officers say that the person wearing the blue shirt is armed with a knife. You hear that a couple of times on a couple of the videos, and that's all we know at this time. It is yet to be determined by the California DOJ in terms of the weapons, who had what and how they were used, but we know what we hear on the video at this time. So that's as much as I can confirm is all what was shown to the public tonight. And you did hear, or we heard an officer on the video that was stated in Commander Yep's presentation say that both individuals had a knife.
Oh, yeah. Chief Scott, I think also in the video, I think another officer dispels that. He says that the other guy has 2 knives. So I think there was some confusion as far as like if the person, I guess, on the ground actually truly had a knife.
Again, as a reminder, each caller has 1 public comment. If you have follow-up questions, we invite you to email sfpdchief@sfgov.org. We will do our best to answer the questions that you have.
Hello, you guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Your 2 minutes begins now.
This is Ray from San Francisco. I grew up in Sunnydale in the Bayview Hunters Point area, and I can tell by the callers that's calling in have no idea what they're talking about. These officers were faced with a life and death situation trying to save two people at the same time. Now, trying to imagine that. Chief, you did a hell of a job by just training these officers with time and distance and trying to gain rapport under these circumstances. But we have people on the outside trying to look in, telling, hey, rapport. How much rapport can an officer gain in a life and death situation? I mean, a sergeant was on scene that I saw, was tactically trying to tell other officers, to back up. But we got two knives in this situation with officers trying to de-escalate the situation at a high intense moment, which these callers that's calling in never faced. They never faced life and death and imminent. I'm sure they don't live in the inner cities. I'm quite certain of that. So imagine somebody from the outside trying to tell an officer who's putting their life on the line to trying to save two lives. So, Chief, I applaud you for putting in these policies, creating time and distance that I've recollected, that I read through the DGO, and that you keep on trying to push your officers forward and hopefully gain some great morale. But as I could see it, as we all saw through this video, these officers tried their best. They waited, they talked it out, but yet we have outsiders from San Francisco who never lived in inner city community, but yet got so much to say, and that's kind of disheartening because ask the people in the communities that they so-called concerned about. Ask those folks, let them talk to them, but yet they won't go to those inner city communities and ask, but the officers will show up day and night and attend to those calls for service that these people would never go to. So, Chief, I applaud you of how you implemented these policies that we...
Thank you, caller.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Your 2 minutes begins now.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what was just said. There's a lot being said here about police officers not doing their job and not being trained. What was just said by Ray, I want to reiterate. These police officers go into parts of inner cities and towns that these callers who are crucifying these police officers never steps foot into. They are never put into the situation that these police officers have to deal with day in and day out. They have no idea that they put their lives on the line for complete strangers. So, Chief Scott, I just want to applaud you and the police officers for putting their lives on the line every single day for complete strangers. These two gentlemen who were in an altercation with these knives, these police officers stepped up, put their lives at risk, and these people who are on these telephones saying that they want justice, that it's a murder, they have no idea what these police officers do and what they go through every single day. They preach from their houses and their telephones and their keyboards, and they don't understand what it is to be a police officer or what it is to actually work with people. I grew up in unsafe parts of town dealing with gangs and violence and weapons, and I know what it is to deal with that and to actually have to deal with this day in and day out. So I just want to say thank you to all the police officers in San Francisco. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Your 2 minutes begins now.
Hi, yeah, I just want to say to the last two callers that you're not only just licking the boot, you have it all the way down your throat. And the biggest criminal organization is the police. This is horrifying and disgusting, and we should all be appalled. There is no reason for a group of over a dozen men to show up and not be able to diffuse the situation nonviolently The only people in this situation that were at risk were the two men that were murdered. I just want to say that the way that the police liaison, Catherine Winters, handled this press interview on scene was really offensive as someone who's in the LGBT community, who's suffered from police violence personally. I'm really glad you're not marching at Pride this year. You cannot drape our dead bodies in a rainbow flag. We do not need more diverse oppressors. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Hello. I just wanted to follow up on something that a previous caller asked, which was if Mr. Mendoza was unarmed. Chief Scott responded by saying that the officers were saying that they were both armed. However, we did clearly hear an officer say that Mr. McFionigan had two knives. I just wanted to point out how extremely disingenuous you're being by claiming that the previous comment was the only one said. Thanks.
Thank you, caller. That is not what I said. And the presentation from Commander Yap and the evidence that was listed, there were actually 3 knives recovered from the scene. And what I said was the California Department of Justice has this investigation. They will determine, hopefully through the investigation, which knives were used in this incident and how. What I said is what we hear on the video is that an officer said that both men had a knife. You also heard an officer say that one man had 2 knives. And you heard that officer say that one of the individuals was holding the blade and had cut his hand. This is why we show all the videos, because it shows perspectives of different officers, and this is why we do an investigation. So let me be very clear. It has not been concluded yet because the investigation is we're 8 days into this incident. And that is why we do an investigation. That investigation is being handled by the California Department of Justice, and hopefully they will determine which knives were used and how. So thank you, caller, for your comments. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. We have 0 callers in the queue, and that will conclude our town hall. Thank you all for attending, and please have a safe weekend. Thank you.